Hi, everybody. I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. I'm based right outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia. Our clients, however, are all throughout the United States. Some are international as well. So no matter where in the U.S. You are located, if you would like our firm to help you with your immigration case, feel free to call us for a consultation. If you're watching us on Facebook, my phone number is right across the screen there. If you're not watching us on Facebook and you want to see it up there, feel free to join us there. We're at Agarwal Immigration. So that's our handle. That's my handle on Facebook and on TikTok, actually. So we're streaming on both Facebook and TikTok. So that's at Agarwal Immigration on Facebook and on TikTok. Okay. And that's Agarwal with just one G, Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. I'm really here to answer your questions. So if you have any immigration questions, this is an opportunity for you to type it into the chat. Say hi. If you haven't joined me before, say hi. Let me know where you're from. I'll give you a shout out here. And we have some folks here joining here on TikTok. Hi, Zoheb. Nice to see you. Hi, Yeehaw. Hi, Terry. Hi, Young. Feel free to, hi, Chic Dame. I think we've seen you here before. Nice to see you. Thanks so much for joining, everyone. Again, I'm here to answer immigration questions. So if you know folks that have immigration applications pending that are trying to get status in the U.S., hi, Jason. Nice to see you. If you know people that are trying to get status in the U.S., this is really an opportunity to ask questions live, right? Because we all know how complicated immigration is. Right. So we all know how complicated immigration is. And basically, this is really a good opportunity for you to ask immigration questions. Okay, well, great. We have a lot of folks here joining us. So again, if you're joining me for the first time, if you don't already follow our page, make sure you follow our page on TikTok. We're at Agarwal Immigration. Feel free to share this with others. Feel free to share this with others if you think that they will benefit from being able to ask immigration questions. All right, great. Well, thanks for joining. So let me kind of hop on here. And again, I'm here to answer questions. So while I'm talking, feel free to type in questions. If you don't already follow us on Facebook, make sure you do that. We're again at Agarwal Immigration on Facebook and on TikTok. Okay, so essentially, we handle a lot of cases, and this is a very common case type. We handle a lot of cases for victims of abuse. All right, so for victims of abuse, although we handle all types of immigration cases, right now, actually, I spent all day working on a case for a visa application for someone of extraordinary ability. Right, so they're of extraordinary ability. We're applying for an O visa for them, which is basically a 3-year visa. It's some folks are familiar with H-1Bs. It's kind of like that. It's an employment-based visa. It's based on being at the top of your field. So we handle employment-based immigration. So if you have employment-based questions, green cards, visas, I'm happy to help you there. But one of our most common case types is for people who are married to U.S. citizens or green card holders, and their spouse won't help them apply for a green card or uses that green card as some kind of bait to manipulate this person, right? So it's called a VAWA application. That is one of our most common types of applications, and we love to help on these VAWA applications. So I'm on here to help folks get information about this type of application where you can get a work permit in about 6 to 8 months, right? This is a green card application, but while that is pending, you would receive a work permit. It would be about 6 to 8 months, and a green card in about 2 to 2.5 years. Okay, again, that would be a green card in about 2 to 2.5 years. And this is for people that are married to US citizens or green card holders. They could enter illegally, they could have entered with status and then lost their status later or let that status expire, right? So folks that came in with status and have expired, people that entered illegally, if they're married to US citizens or green card holders, they might be eligible to apply for a green card application on their own, completely without the help of their spouse. We won't even need to notify their spouse because this application is based on abuse. It's based on emotional abuse, psychological abuse, verbal abuse, right? That's something that many people face. So we help them apply for this type of green card, and we help prepare the full application. We also provide representation at an interview. So if you or someone you know is in the situation where they're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, and they're in a terrible marriage essentially, and they're being abused by their spouse, they can qualify for a green card. So please make sure to share this page with them. Make sure to like this page, and share this post with them so they can come on and ask questions and really just hear me talk about this type of application. All right. So go ahead and make sure you follow us. And my name again is Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney, but feel free to post any kind of immigration question because I do handle pretty much everything under immigration, family-based applications, employment-based applications, and all of these types of humanitarian cases such as U visas for victims of crime and what I just mentioned, the VAWA application. All right, great. So our question, we always start off with a question of the day. So this comes up really, really often. And I think that you all will benefit from me talking about this. So if you're joining me for the first time, come on and say hi, ask your question, and I'm happy to answer it for you, okay? And I'll get, I see some folks have already posted questions, so I would love to answer them in just a second. Okay. So the question I'm going to start off with today that comes up really often is, can I file a VAWA application and then get divorced, right? Can I file a VAWA application and then get divorced after my application is pending? What happens if my spouse wants to leave me and I have a VAWA application pending? Okay, in most cases, this is going to be totally okay, right? This is going to be totally okay because you can file this VAWA application. It's based on abuse. If you're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, you can file it even within 2 years of a divorce, right? You can file this application within 2 years of a divorce. So that means if you already have an application pending, a VAWA application pending, and you get divorced, let's say your spouse and you get divorced, that's okay. That's completely okay. It will not impact your application. What will impact that application really is if you get remarried, right? So what I will tell you is don't get remarried if you have a VAWA application pending. But if you want to divorce your abusive spouse, you're more than okay to, because really the purpose of VAWA is to empower you, is to give you authorization to work, is to give you the ability to apply for a green card completely on your own without your spouse if you have found yourself in that abusive situation. All right. So the answer to that is really yes, you can get divorced once you filed your VAWA application. You can even file your VAWA application, after you get divorced, as long as it's within 2 years of a divorce. All right, as long as it's within 2 years of a divorce. And we do have people that we are helping in the situation where they're already divorced from an abusive spouse who's a green card holder or a U.S. citizen, and we're still able to apply for a green card for them without the help of their spouse. Okay? Call us if we can help you. Best way to get started is through a consultation. You can reach us for a consultation at 703-348-1663. Again, that's 703-348-1663. If you want to just come on and watch and ask questions, I'm on a lot, so feel free to just join me, and make sure you follow us on TikTok at Agarwal Immigration. Like us on Facebook, again, also at Agarwal Immigration, okay? And we're also on Instagram, although I'm not super active on Instagram. I should be. So we have a number of questions here. Jason, hi, nice to see you. Hi, Sheikh Dame. Sheikh Dame says, my question today is about advanced parole and VAWA. Great, Sheikh Dame. Go ahead and ask that question. I'm happy to answer. So if you have a question, feel free to put it in, but I can talk to you a little bit about what is advanced parole and a VAWA application. Remember, VAWA is a green card application for people that are abused, right? So people in a marriage where they're being abused, and this does not have to be physical abuse. It can be emotional abuse, which can be equally painful, sometimes more painful than the physical abuse, right? So it can be we have a client whose spouse monitors them on cameras. We have a client whose spouse verbally abuses them, calls them names when they're angry, yells. We have a client whose spouse destroys their identity documents. These are all different forms of abuse. Okay, so when you apply for this, it's a green card application, right? Abuse is just a piece of evidence that's part of your full package. So when you apply for this green card application, you will also receive, most people will be eligible to receive what's called advanced parole. That means travel authorization. So you can travel outside the country while this application is pending, which is hugely beneficial, especially if you've had an illegal entry, or if you had a tourist visa, for example, and it expired. You have no other way to leave the country and come back in. But with this application pending, with this green card application pending, you can leave, go home, visit your family, and come back in because you're authorized, you have permission, advanced permission to re-enter the country, even if you didn't have status before you filed this green card application. Okay, give us a call if we can help you with a consultation on this type of application. We're at 703-348-1663. Again, that's 703-348-1663. All right, Sheikh Dame, I don't know if I answered that question for you, but I hope that I did. All right. Omar is asking me, hello, madam, can you and your team help newcomers, Afghan immigrants as volunteers? I am doing a lot of work with Afghan immigrants. Feel free to call our office, and we're happy to help how we can. I serve on the board of a nonprofit organization called Just Neighbors. It's a local organization for my area. I'm again right outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia. So I'm one of the board members of this nonprofit called Just Neighbors, and we help immigrants from everywhere. And I believe they're doing a lot of work for Afghan refugees. So our pro bono work, my time spent is usually through Just Neighbors. So I would encourage you to contact them if you need assistance in filling out forms. There are a number of volunteers, and we can help coordinate that as well. Omar, thank you for putting that information out there. Sheikh Dame is saying, can I leave on advanced parole while my VAWA application is pending? Yes, technically you can, but I would want to make sure that you don't have removal proceedings, that you are not permanently barred from re-entering the U.S. So you want to check that out, right? If you have a VAWA application pending, if you have an advanced parole document, if you're using an attorney, they will usually let you know whether you should travel or not travel. I am cautious, right? I would encourage people to wait to travel until you get your green card, right? That's what I normally say. Wait to travel until you get your green card to avoid any kind of issues whatsoever. However, many people do travel on advanced parole, and it's perfectly okay for most people, but you want to make sure that there's no other reason for CBP, for Border Patrol, to prevent you from re-entering, right? So make sure you have a consultation, make sure you talk to your attorney before you leave the country. Okay, if you want to call us, we can have a consultation. I would love to chat with you about your immigration history to see if I see any red flags about you leaving the U.S. to visit family while your VAWA application is pending. Okay, you can call me at 703-348-1663. Again, that's 703-348-1663. All right, great. Hi, Zoheb. Nice to see you. Zoheb says, how long is VAWA taking? Right? How long is VAWA taking? Again, this is an application for people who are married to U.S. citizens or green card holders. Usually, that's our most common type of VAWA case. It's a green card application, and it's based on problems in your marriage. It's based on abusive behavior by either your U.S. citizen or green card holder spouse. And again, I like to caveat that it does not have to be physical abuse. It can just be emotional abuse, psychological and verbal abuse. Okay. How long is it taking is Zoheb's question. It's taking about 6 to 8 months to get work authorization. So 6 to 8 months to get work authorization based on this application. It takes about the I-360 portion, which is the petition, which is the VAWA petition, takes about 1.5 years to get approved. And then the full green card, if you're applying and you're eligible for a green card, takes between 2 to 2.5 years. So the green card interview is scheduled between 2 to 2.5 years. Our firm and this type of application, we are full service. We prepare the full application. We prepare all the exhibits. We monitor it on a weekly basis and let you know if there are any updates. We also get you ready for an interview and go with you to the interview. All right, so we do it's a full service operation here. If you want to call us to learn more about this, if you know other people that might be interested, right? If you know other people that might be interested in this kind of application, I would, strongly encourage them to at least check us out here on social media, but also feel free to call our office for a consultation at 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. Joy is saying, how long is the I-63 process? I think you mean I-360 process. 1.5 years. I think that's what you mean. If you don't mean that, put it in. I'm not sure what you're referring to otherwise. It's about 1.5 years to receive that. If your VAWA is approved, if you apply for a VAWA, no green card, if it's approved, you will have permission to live in the U.S. forever and work authorization forever. This is before the green card. But if you are eligible for a green card, of course, you should apply for the green card as well, right? Because you can then, once you get the green card, then you can become a U.S. citizen, you can sponsor family, you can vote in elections. So there's many different additional benefits to becoming a citizen. So I would go for the green card if you're eligible for a green card, okay? Again, calls for consultation, we're doing them by Zoom, by phone, and by in person. All right, we had a client come in today unannounced, which is kind of nice to see. We don't see many people in the office these days just because people prefer Zoom or phone. And I just saw one of my Syrian clients here today, and it was actually very, very, very nice. All right. Zohab is asking, is there an interview after VAWA is approved for a green card? That's a really good question. Is there an interview after VAWA is approved for a green card? Yes. So if you qualify for VAWA, we usually apply for the green card at the same time as the VAWA application, right? So usually the VAWA application is approved first, and then the adjudication of the green card application, right? The green card application is decided. So the VAWA is approved usually without interview. And then the green card interview happens about a year after the VAWA is approved. So yes, there is an interview, but what you should know is that the interview does not focus or discuss the abuse, right? So the regulations prevent the USCIS officer on asking about the abuse. So the green card interview is focused on your biographic information to make sure you're not a security threat to the U.S., that you don't have a health issue that's going to present a threat to the U.S. if you're given a green card. They also focus on your entries and exits to see if you're permanently barred from getting a green card application. Most of our clients do not have any issues in terms of getting a green card. So I would presume that most people that are watching here, if you're like most of my clients, most likely you will not have an issue preventing you from getting a green card. Excuse me. So check it out if you think that you might be eligible for VAWA. With a U.S. citizen or a green card holder spouse who's not willing to help you with your green card application, you might be eligible to do it on your own, to get work authorization on your own, to get your freedom independently without your spouse, and we would love to help you. Okay, give us a call, 703-348-1663. Montu says, can I travel on domestic flights undocumented? I only have a valid passport. So usually you only need a valid passport to travel on domestic flights, right? So usually that's the case. So you should most likely be okay, but I would be careful, especially with more and more states looking for real ID. Also, if you're not going to encounter CBP, for most likely it will be okay. But just be careful, I would say. Okay. Joy is saying, how long does special immigrant juvenile applications take? They can actually be very fast, right? They can actually be very, very fast. But there are so many different parts. Excuse me. There are so many different parts of that. So some of the parts can get delayed, right? So part of it is, for example, special immigrant juvenile is also a green card application. It's for people who are neglected or children who came to the U.S. at a young age, and they don't have, at least one of their parents abandoned them. They can apply for a green card. There are certain other eligibility requirements, which if you think you're eligible, call us for a consultation. We'd love to chat with you about it. They can take, I would say, about a year or so, but there are parts of it that can take that can delay or that it can go very fast. So one of them is basically trying to notify your parents where about what's happening to see if they'll show up and take excuse me and take responsibility for you. So it's possible that that might take a long time, that getting a newspaper ad up in a country might be difficult as well. Okay, so call us. We can walk you through the full process. Omar is saying, Madam, we're in Michigan. If you can recommend us to any volunteer immigrant lawyer, great. Feel free to shoot us an email with your information. I'd be happy to pass it on to the nonprofit that I work with. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for joining me. It was wonderful to see you here today. If you would like to schedule a consultation, call our office and I'll be on here. So make sure that you like our page, follow us on both Facebook and on TikTok. You'll be notified every time I go live. And there are so many people with immigration questions, so I'm here to answer your questions live. All right, I hope everyone's doing well, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Bye.